I don't fear anything. Can you say the same?
What the fuck was that noise? Alright, I know the title of the video says best controller settings, but I wanted to show you guys this to give my opinion some credibility. I know it's not the best stats you've probably ever seen, but it gives my opinion some credibility, I guess, over a guy with like 24 kills who just downloaded the game yesterday. But these bad boys right here, these are fairly important, but honestly, a lot of it is up to preference, so if you disagree with me at any point, let me know. So for starters, I recommend a button layout that's button puncher, or if you have a better controller, you can do something else. This is because this way you don't need to take your finger off the right stick to crouch, and it's pretty well known that you're gonna slide and crouch and stuff a lot more than you're actually gonna melee people in match, so I like to have this switched because I don't have paddles on the back of my controller. If you do, you might not need this at all and you can play default, but this is the way I play on a regular controller. The next one I'm gonna talk about is sensitivity. On this game, I actually don't think your sensitivity needs to be too high, especially because you're not aiming down sights a lot. However, I do play on 2 different sensitivities based on the game I'm looking for. I play on a lower one when I'm trying to use the R301 or longer range weapons, and then when I'm using the R99, I tend to turn this up to very high or super high, just depending on the day and how I'm doing. This is because I want to be able to hip fire and, like, you know, track people really easily on a high sensitivity, and this one is so I can hit shots at long range much easier than if I was on super high. For sensitivity, aim down sights, I leave it the same. It makes it easier when you're tracking enemies because things don't switch up, and also I think it's just the best way to play. Some people like to turn this down so that they can like track enemies easier at range, but to me this slows me down and it mixes me up a lot of the time because my sensitivities will flip if I even start to aim down sights. For the response curve, I stick with classic. I have tried steady, fine aim, high velocity, and linear, and just classic tends to work the best. It's what the game feels the best on, but I also, again, don't have a nice controller or something like that where, you know, stick sensitivity is fine-tuned in the controller. Movement, dead zone, and stuff like that, you're gonna want to keep small, otherwise the game will like kind of automatically adjust your aiming, and it's really weird. It's hard to describe the effect, but if I swear if you turn this on large and you start playing, you'll just feel different with the gun. I don't really know how to describe it, but always leave that on small if you're a decent player. If you're not a very good player, you can move this on large and it'll keep you more like center focused and, you know, stationary, but to me small is the best for highly competitive players. I leave my vibration on. This is a controversial one. I know in Call of Duty and stuff, a lot of people used to turn this off so it didn't affect your aim, but for me, I like it a lot. It makes the game feel more fun and realistic, and it's just kind of boring to play with no vibration. Field of view, I have this down at 106 for some reason, but usually this is just spiked all the way up to 110 or as high as it can go. It really helps out, you know, being able to see more of the map, and once you turn it up to 110 or something like that and you play for like a week, if you were to try and go back to the 70 field of view, the game would feel ugly and kind of slow. So yeah, if you want to feel like you're sprinting at 100 miles an hour and things are going quicker, 110 is the best. You can see more. It's just overall the best. I don't really know what sprint view shake does. I might try turning this on minimal, but I like it at normal. I never really have a problem with it. If this is something that somebody else thinks is like a really crucial setting, let me know. But to me, I've never had my sprint view shake ever disrupt me in a fight. So you could go in and fine tune the settings and the advanced stuff, but personally, I'm not intelligent enough to know what those things mean. Again, a lot of people wanted me to make this video, and I would just say it's all up to personal preference. When I find my sensitivity, I use those tips. Obviously, I know those mechanics help me, but at the end of the day, it's whatever I feel most comfortable with. I've moved my sensitivity like 3 places right or left on certain days just based on how I'm playing. So really just get a feel for it and practice on one and try and like grind hard on one sensitivity. Try not to switch it too much until you're comfortable, and this will really mess up your rhythm if you're trying to become a competitive player, if you're consistently switching sensitivities, because the biggest part about video games is truly muscle memory. If you have the quickest reaction time and you are always on point with your shots, you're going to win the most gunfights. So that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys appreciated it, and I hope you guys like these settings. They're so lame and boring, but again, I get asked this on Twitter more often than any other question, and that's my controller settings. So here you go. I should have a double upload coming out later today, so please check out those clips that are going to be in my stream highlights. I appreciate all the support as usual, and it's been Diff, and I'm out. Peace.